Biden and Xi clash over Taiwan and Bali. Japan to enable fighter jets and missile exports to 12 nations. Apple's job listing suggests the company is building a metaverse. Asia's water tower is in trouble. Genetically modified mosquito wipe out dengue fever in Brazil. Mozambican president announces first LNG export shipment. Record 40,000 migrants cross English Channel so far this year. Russia's knockoff McDonald's expand to Belarus.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It's Tuesday, November 15th, and here are your top stories. U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping engaged in blunt talks over Taiwan and North Korea on Monday in a 3-hour meeting aimed at preventing strained U.S. China ties from spilling into a new Cold War. Amid simmering differences on human rights, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and support of domestic industry, the two leaders pledged more frequent communication. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will travel to Beijing for follow-up talks.
Biden said after his talk with Xi on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Indonesia, "We're going to compete vigorously, but I'm not looking for conflict. I'm looking to manage this competition responsibly." Biden said he sought to assure Xi that U.S. policy on Taiwan, which has for decades been to support both Beijing's One China policy and Taiwan's military, had not changed. He said there was no need for a new Cold War, and that he did not think that China was planning a hot one.
According to Nikkei Asia, the Japanese government plans to allow exports of fighter jets, missiles, and other arms to 12 countries, including India, Australia, as well as some European and Southeast Asian nations. The media said the Japanese government aims to enhance deterrence against China by cooperating with countries that have signed individual security agreements with Tokyo. These countries include Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, the U.S., the U.K., Germany, France, and Italy.
The media said Japan is planning to develop new fighter jets and medium-range anti-aircraft missile with the U.S. and the U.K. Export customers will allow Japan's manufacturer to lower their production costs. This will also lower the Japanese government's procurement costs and lighten its financial burden. The principle regarding transfers of defense equipment will be revised after a national security strategy is formulated, which is scheduled to take place at the end of this year.
Bloomberg reported that Apple is looking for engineers to build a 3D world for its yet-to-be-announced mixed reality headset. The report said job listings from Apple's technology development group show that the tech giant is looking for people to make content for its headset, like software producers to work on visual effects for augmented reality and virtual reality environments, and people to build a video service with 3D content. Also, the company is in the process of finding a new design chief.
The company's development of a virtual and augmented reality headset was reported in early 2021, and trademark filings from August show that Apple may call the headset Reality One or Reality Pro. Bloomberg said the listings also imply that Apple is looking to build a video service for the headset featuring 3D content that can be played in virtual reality. This would follow the company's 2020 acquisition of NextVR, which partnered with artists and professional sports league to transmit VR content to headsets.
A team of scientists found that climate change in recent decades has led to a severe depletion in terrestrial water storage to the tune of 15.8 gigatons per year in certain area of the Tibetan Plateau, also known as the Water Tower of Asia. Based on this pattern, the team has predicted that under a moderate carbon emission scenario, the entire Tibetan Plateau could experience a net loss of about 230 gigatons by the mid-21st century. The experts fear that the region could see a near-total freshwater storage collapse by 2050.
The study revealed the Amu Darya Basin, which supplies water to Central Asia and Afghanistan, showed a decline of 119% in water supply capacity. The Indus Basin, which supplies water to northern India and Pakistan, showed a 79% decline in water supply capacity. Combined together, this impacts a quarter of the world's human population. Scientists said, if we fail to meaningfully curtail fossil fuel burning in the decades ahead, we can expect a nearly 100% loss of water availability to downstream regions of the Tibetan Plateau.
struck， 它是 strike 这动词的过去式。strike a deal 就是
学习，享受一个人的美好时光。FUNDAY 英语。
A groundbreaking large-scale pilot project introducing new friendly mosquitoes achieved 96% suppression of the dengue-spreading mosquito population in urban communities in Brazil. The head of malaria programs of the pilot at Oxitec, Dr. Nathan Rose, said, "If you get rid of the female mosquitoes, you obviously also stop the production of any mosquitoes because you need them to be able to lay eggs. And so what we've done is this in Brazil."
They are now used to stop Zika, a virus related to the rise of microcephaly cases in newborns in Brazil.
Oxitec is the company behind the design and execution of the Friendly Mosquito Initiative, founded at the University of Oxford in 2022. The so-called friendly mosquitoes are non-biting, genetically modified male Aedes aegypti that mate with wild females and pass on a lethal gene that stops female offspring from reaching adulthood. The dengue-spreading mosquito that Oxitec is targeting in Brazil is one mosquito species out of about 3,500 different species of mosquito.
Mozambique has officially started exporting liquefied natural gas, also known as LNG. Mozambique's President Filipe Nyusi made the announcement Sunday, November 13th. It is the first shipment of gas under a long-term purchase and sale contract with British energy giant BP. Mozambique has the largest natural gas deposits ever found in sub-Saharan Africa. They were discovered and produced in the northern Cabo Delgado province from 2010. Experts said once tapped, Mozambique could become one of the world's 10 biggest exporters.
The CEO of oil giant Total met with Mozambique's President Nyusi on Monday.
Mozambique's President Filipe Nyusi announced on Sunday that the first export of liquefied natural gas was produced in Rovuma, Mozambique, by the Coalsulf FLNG project. According to BP 2021 statistical review of world energy, Africa is home to over 620 trillion cubic feet of natural gas reserves. Through the production of LNG for domestic use and export, leaders hope to support industrialization schemes. The offshore plant in Mozambique is managed by Italian's energy company Eni.
According to the British Ministry of Defense, more than 40,000 migrants have made the perilous crossing of the English Channel in makeshift boats to reach the United Kingdom this year so far. Government figures show that 972 people crossed the English Channel in 22 small boats last Saturday, bringing the total since the start of the year to 40,885. The media said never have so many migrants, especially Albanians, Iranians, and Afghans, made the dangerous crossing.
A harrowing record. More than 40,000 people have now crossed the English Channel to reach the UK this year.
During the whole of last year, 28,526 crossings were recorded, which was already a record then. According to British newspapers, The Telegraph said on Sunday, the UK and France are on the verge of striking a deal to tackle migration across the English Channel, with an agreement possibly coming as early as Monday. The agreement will significantly increase the number of French officers and volunteers to guard the Channel's beaches, while France will aim to prevent a much higher portions of migrants from leaving its shores.
The Russian-based fast food chain Vkusnoye Tachka, where tasty and that's it, has expanded into Belarus. Vkusnoye Tachka took over McDonald's in Russia after the U.S. fast food giant ceased operations in the country. Vkusnoye Tachka said in a statement released last Friday, it was completing a franchising agreement with a Belarusian chain of fast food restaurants owned by KSB Victory. It plans to open 25 outlets in 6 cities across Belarus, which are currently operating under the McDonald's brand.
What used to be McDonald's restaurants in Moscow opened their doors again on Sunday, and
the media said McDonald's shut all its restaurants in Russia on March 14th. All its outlets was sold to Govr as a local licensee, who initiated a comprehensive rebranding. Vkusnoye currently operates more than 830 restaurants in 62 Russian regions. The company said that after 6 months in business, it has fully recovered from past supply chain problems and adapted logistics, ensuring the smooth operation of all its enterprises.
FUNDAY News will help you sharpen your English skills and keep you informed about international current events. If you want to know more about our other programs and keep learning about the world's most important topics in English, please click the link in the description below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I will see you next time.